Yo, 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 you tuning into the Notion Podcast. This your boy Dizzy D Spill with my co-host in the building.
Jelani Evans.
Today I am
A guest on the
I'll be
podcast.
Farmer Poe today. I'll be
Ladies and gentlemen, Al Poe, Chef Poe.
You might not
I
be
was good with
familiar
it,
with him,
was good
so
It's a bi-weekly different
introduce
name.
yourself to the people.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
What do you do?
I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And as you see, he doesn't follow directions. How y'all brothers feeling today, man?
Cheerful.
Okay.
Cheerful.
That's never a bad thing.
Elaborate. I don't even want to answer your question. Elaborate. What's going on?
I don't know. I'm just trying to
Chipper?
be in a cheerier mood.
Cheerier.
Is that a word?
You made it one.
I just made it.
It
It made
sounds like
sense, though.
the two-door version of Chariot, but go ahead.
All right. So I want to be in a more cheerful mood.
Okay.
So that's what I'm just attempting
The
to
little arm. I see you.
Okay. There it is.
All right.
Is the bucket hat helping?
do. Helping to keep my peripherals to
Got you.
a minimal radius,
follow.
circumference, whatever that
It's
would
like
be.
blinders and you just focus.
Yeah, right.
I'm doing good though, man. I'm maintaining, Can't complain. How you feeling, brother?
I'm cool, man. We coming off of little celebrations and stuff like that. Family
yeah,
celebrations.
Some big
you know what I
party,
mean?
big party, big cake.
Yeah, man. Stuff that I don't share with everybody, but yeah, man, it's cool. Got some things coming up, so
Oh yeah, what you
got
doing?
coming? Yeah.
some music.
Oh,
We dropped a little
yeah,
mixtape.
yeah.
You know, me and some fam dropped a mixtape song to kind of get some stuff bubbling, and I got a couple songs in the chamber that are 99% done. I just got to work on the sound level, so I think I might be able to pull off a 2 EPs before the end of the year.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
There you go.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited to get in the rhythm. I caught the music bug, I guess, and was like, you know what? I want to add a little bit more to what I've been already sitting on.
I ain't mad at that.
So, there's that.
There you go.
When you just planning on dropping?
Probably November, December.
Oh, you going back to back it?
Yeah, I think I might back to back those joints. I mean, worst case scenario, December, January, but the goal is November, December.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay.
Wanted to throw out there question: did anybody get a chance to go to the Farm to Forks Festival?
I got a chance to be detoured during the Farm to Fork Festival, so I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to get to the other side of Capitol while door dashing. Yeah. So that was my experience with Farm to Fork. I did not know that it was happening until I ran into the
didn't
detour.
either.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Well-
I was gonna say there's a Farm to Fork Festival.
Well, our demographic necessarily, I would not know about it.
I don't know because
you should know.
you don't have an excuse.
My
But
man, Nature Nate was down there, so that was dope. One of my friends was down there who's actually vending.
why didn't he tell you?
I actually didn't know.
Come on, Nate. Why didn't you say something,
Nate
Nate?
quit his
Does he
job to
not have
farm
an IG?
full time.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
He does. I just haven't been active on watching IGs and
You
paying
don't
attention.
watch stories or
I don't.
reply to DMs. You just send stuff and post your story. You're very narcissistic in that way. But go on.
Because I could get
You do
trapped.
that.
I could get trapped in Instagram, so I try not to if I keep looking.
You try not to look at other people's stuff and only send them things.
I only go there to look for
tell them.
on the explore page. I look on the explore page. But nah, my guy
He's
Nature
one of those
Nate-
guys. So
Yeah, so don't look forward to any farming collaborations
You
by
know how we
Poe,
be
but
like,
he'll
hit us-
definitely send you his product.
you know how we be like, hit us up. Don't hit him up. He's not our point of contact.
Yeah, it's not on us.
He's not his own point of contact.
If we see each other face to face, I will let you know that I saw your message.
That's awful.
The message seen
I got your
underneath
message, man.
lets me know you got and saw the message.
You're awful. That's just I have nothing else for that, but you're awful.
Nah, man, I had to do it because Instagram, it's a trap, bro. So
It's not, man. It's about discipline. We can't.
That's my discipline.
Our society keeps blaming
I
everything.
disciplined myself.
Everything that we have freedom of choice to do.
I did. I choose not to
I'm
participate.
speaking in general at that point. I'm not saying you. You are just different.
Funny
bro.
style, right,
Yeah,
right,
you
right.
just
You don't
have
know how
a
to
different.
say, you know what? I'm gonna sit on here. I'm gonna check some things. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I'm done and get off.
Nah, because he got to have his
Because he has
somebody was able to. This is how bad this
ADHD.
is. Somebody had to explain to me what type of person he was, and it wasn't him.
Who?
I have a homie named Jamal, right? And so Jamal, me and him, we always talk about building the village, you know, the black culture kind of conversation. And he was like, but every once in a while, you know, I like my ignorant shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like to go watch my ignorant shit. You know, I'll watch SGA and all this other, you know, just straight up ignorant bullshit. And I said, oh,
Yeah.
Poe is like that. He was like, yeah,
World
man, we got,
star.
yeah, and that's him. You know, he has one side of him where it's just okay, all right, I see where you're going, and then there's another side that is like, you do this on your off days.
If you ever seen my YouTube history page on like the rabbit holes I've been down. Yeah.
I believe it. If somebody were to tell me, I would believe it.
Nah, yeah.
So yeah, that's
So
how
Farm
it
to
is.
Fork.
We didn't go,
Nobody went.
including you.
My understanding of what Farm
Farmer
to Fork
Poe
was-
didn't go to Farm to Fork.
because
So
I
where the
thought it was
fork were
more
you
for
at? Yeah, Harold.
I heard from my understanding was that Farm to Fork was more like that event was more for like they were selling tickets.
Maybe if you found the
It
fork,
was
we
like
would
a
you
dinner,
would have more.
and it was like expensive.
No, bro, it was just like the festival they had. I want to say almost during the summer they had like a food festival out here at Cal Expo. I think it was similar to that.
Yeah, that's what I think this year. But I think the first year, remember when they changed the name of City of Trees? They changed it officially to Farm to Fork. That year they had like a dinner or something on the bridge. And
I remember that.
that's
okay.
what. And so I put Farm to Fork right out of my.
Okay. Because you thought it was more. You didn't think
Yeah,
it
they're
was.
selling tickets that are expensive for people who are unable to like the regular people aren't necessarily going to be able to afford it.
Oh, so they made it more upscale when it's supposed to be more for
Yeah.
the people and farm. Okay, I could understand.
Now that I have like been through this gardening phase, I can understand what I'm more tapped in now with a lot of the goings on of as far as like agriculture and stuff in Sacramento. So I can see that. Yeah, it probably was much more of a different event than that this year.
Nah, maybe they probably got some reviews and didn't like it.
Possibly so. It could be both. Yeah.
Maybe
And then
so.
once I seen my dude Nate down, like they actually interviewed him on the news. I was like, oh yeah, this is official. My dude is he quit his job when we were working together just to farm whole like all the time, and he sells all his products and stuff like that. So
Nice.
Yeah,
So he's actually doing okay with that.
yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah. So, but yeah, farm to
So
fork, man.
what the fuck are you doing?
Hold on, let me.
Yo.
Look, man, I'm just
Experimenting.
yeah.
Winging it?
I got a small scale right now. I'm on small scale right now. So what I'm
Well,
doing
get
is
your weight up. Shit. All you been doing is sick of you.
Since we started the podcast.
It's been a few years.
Yeah.
bro.
You gotta take the training wheels
I think
off.
by episode 150, he'll be like, yeah, man, I'm finally back in the garden.
Nah,
We've heard that 3 times.
By that time, I'll have something for
You have something for.
the people.
Okay.
From your farm to a fork.
For the people.
For everybody else.
Because see, look, the whole
It's a
premise.
good thing we not starving.
Small scale.
They didn't say farm
You out here
to
farming personal plates.
capital, then to your fork.
You about this close to getting jumped by the rib cage gang.
Bruh.
Because
I had
these
to think
cats
about
is
that for a
hungry.
moment.
Because these cats is hungry and their rib cage is showing, and you just over there like, yeah, man, I finally, you know.
When he pulled up to the event with no food, that's when I knew he quit. He just gave up. He just like, oh, okay. He
Hey,
just,
no. When I pull up to an event now and there's an expectation that I'm bringing something, or that I have like if I'm at my family's event, I have to either have where's your camera at, or you didn't
Damn.
bring nothing. Like, yeah. So
I mean, you always bring something though. I don't know about everywhere else, but when you pull up to the events we have, you always bring something.
Yeah.
So you have created
And you
that.
know that's for the herbivores, bro. You know that's specifically
y'all got a point.
for
Y'all
the
got a point.
herbivores.
You got
because
something.
we don't have that many people. I mean, I don't
That's
have
true.
I don't have Nature Nate's phone number, man.
I'm gonna give it to you.
I can't send a pigeon. You know what I'm saying? Or however y'all communicate by pigeon.
Yeah,
or
Paul
by...
gave me your number. I was looking for lentils. Like, nigga, how does that start? What do you mean? Want me like what? No, I don't want his number.
Nah, bro.
That's actually a compliment if you think about it. I mean, that means people trust what you do.
It was funny that y'all say that
when you do it.
I just built a new raised bed in my on the side of my house in the front. And I was out there this morning, and my neighbor, she came over this morning. She was like, "What you growing over here?" Because they obviously haven't seen the backyard. So she was like, "Are you selling this? What you got over here?" So I started telling her everything I had, and obviously I told her, it's for sale.
So you told her everything you had, so they just finna run up in your backyard one day.
I made sure to tell her, please don't come over here when I'm not home and try to be picking nothing, because I know how sneaky you can be.
You told her that?
Nah. I wanted to.
So what'd you tell her?
So he's lying.
You grab whatever you want?
No, I said,
please don't hit me.
I'll bring some.
Not
over.
with my glasses.
I'll bring some. Nah, she's a nice old lady.
Karen, you
bro.
can have some hers. Just don't tell on me.
She was quiet with the way she walked up on me. She was like pretty quiet until I heard her say, "Excuse me," and I like turn around quick.
I mean, that could be a potential client.
Nah. It would be dope if I could get my neighborhood to start doing that. Like, we have a neighborhood garden.
I've never heard about one of those neighborhood gardens.
I have.
Yeah,
I've never heard of
pretty
those.
dope. You can pay to a
Why don't
monthly
you take
fee.
charge, dude? What are you?
I called them because the one that's near my house, I wanted to fix it up because it was looking pretty bad. So I called them to see what was the like, how do you become a part of it? And there's a monthly fee, which isn't very much.
Okay.
And you pretty much just go there, and they provide a space for you. So a lot of people don't have a space to garden.
Okay.
This is a space for you to garden, which is usually at a local park or something, or in between neighborhoods and things like that. So it's a few near my house. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
I'm about to say, I know I've heard of one downtown too. Like, I've seen one at downtown too. Like, I seen one that was like basically like a flower, and then another one where they were actually like doing produce. So
Was it a lot of sunflowers?
yeah,
I seen that one.
yeah.
I think I seen that one. It's like on the corner or something.
Yeah, close to the
Painted
corner.
fence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope. There should be more of those, especially to teach little kids, something different than tablets and video games.
Hell
and,
yeah.
And designer clothes they shouldn't even be having.
I think my favorite
Can't
part
afford none of it.
of like
Exactly.
DoorDashing, bro, is I get to see a lot of people's houses, and a lot of the people that I deliver to have some form of garden, whether it's flowers, whether it's vegetables, whether it's both, and I get a lot of ideas from people, and then you see how some people's setups are. Like, I don't like the ones where it looks like somebody came in and did it for you. I kind of like it to look a little wild. So the way that people have theirs is.
Why does that make it? Is it make you feel like it's more organic that way,
Or
and
more
not
natural.
tailored?
More
Yeah,
authentic.
exactly. Yeah. Because I just did that with the raised bed in my front yard. I was watching a video of a guy who just threw out a random like 6,000 seeds in one of his raised beds, and a lot of the stuff survived because most of the time you think there's going to be like a battle for root growth, and actually planting like that is pretty much how it is naturally before humans became involved. And so you have all these different crops growing right next to each other: carrots, bok choy, all kinds of beans and stuff growing right next to each other, rather than having a whole bed of like, this is cabbage, this is my beans. And it helps to keep away a lot of the pests, because if the pests see that this is a whole bed of cabbage, now they smell it, they know this is where I go for the cabbage. But if you have garlic and onions and different things and beans and things that are mixed in between, it's a little, it provides protection to the soil, because everything is covered. So you don't really have to water as much. It protects the soil and keeps a lot of the different pests away. So I'm experimenting with that in the front yard right now to see how well that does in one of the beds.
That's pretty interesting. I never thought about it like that, because I know there are certain things that do make things unattractive for like pests and bugs or squirrels or whatever. So we'll have to follow up with you on an update with that.
Yeah, because I had some squirrels, bro. I came in the backyard the last 2 days, and I seen hella digging in my backyard, like in the beds, and the squirrels been digging up, bro.
It was in your shit.
I was hot But luckily they didn't dig up.
There was probably
they
an
dug up
tree
some
getting
of the
hella
new some of the new seedlings they dug up, but I wasn't too mad about that because the other things stayed there. But I made a concoction of neem oil, chili powder, Cajun seasoning, paprika, and some.
Don't get a recipe away.
Well, no. I'm about to. This is gonna spray on the soils that these niggas stay away. I'm keeping the squirrels away.
But I'm saying you can sell that.
I looked on the back of a bottle.
Never
of a
mind.
bottle I bought.
He's
some
not
natural
authentic.
He's a
spray.
fraud. He had us
he's not
going.
I
authentic.
took that recipe.
He had us going, man.
He made it seem
Nah,
like
yeah,
he just
bro.
came up with that. So I mean, some I had some neem oil, and I thought about it. And I was like, some.
You look up. You look up.
Yeah,
a lot of
I ain't never heard of
recipes.
these before. I'm like, yo, he about to make something crazy.
Nah, yeah, this is gonna stop. These squirrels gotta stop.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's new?
Kicking it
what's
with
new
kicks and
the-
sneakers,
what's the
man.
sneaker world, man.
I don't know.
He always lying.
Oh man, nah, I mean like resellers are having a hard time. The market is down. Prices aren't the same. Things are sitting on shelves now. It's ugly out here depending on what part of the food chain you on when it comes to the whole shoe game right about now. Yeezy and Adidas are no longer in partnership or Gap, so they put there's actually paperwork that came out. It's like a restriction for Yee. Standalone Yee or Yeezy, it's a restriction of what he can and can't do.
This sounds like a crazy ass contract he signed.
And let me see. Matter of fact,
Cool. I'm wondering who was right there next to him while he's signing this stuff, bro. This is one of the when I heard about what they are saying that he can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
He can't use.
summary states that Yee and Yeezy are restricted in what they can use, wear, sponsor, promote, market, advertise, endorse, design, manufacture, license, sell, or provide consulting services with respect to products under the Yeezy trademarks or Yeezy likeness or any other identifiable attribute, feature, or indica of Yee. This even includes Donda, Pablo, or Jesus Walks. The product categories include athletic wear, athleisure, streetwear, sportswear, and lifestyle apparel, footwear, and accessories.
Bro, he can't make shoes.
Yee and Yeezy are also prohibited from making, marketing, selling, etc. apparel, footwear, and accessories that use designs that copy or resemble any designs used for Yeezy by Adidas.
So,
And the coldest part about it is I wonder. I mean, I know how this guy is going to respond to it, and the guy I'm talking about, because he's very humble. Sway,
whoa.
because Sway gave you an idea, you didn't respect it, and you kind of went off on him, and now he did double back and say, yes, Sway had the answers.
Yeah, I mean,
Because now you got to go get your own manufacturers, you got to go get your own.
well,
this
he
or
can't.
that.
He can't even move with his own name.
You can't
He
do
can't even do anything with his mother's name.
You can't
But this
do
is
anything. Why is Kanye constantly signing these kind of contracts? It seems like he has a very bad habit of signing the contracts that he has no
people can be bought.
ownership of.
People can be bought.
The whole thing about it seems like in discussions and talks or whatever, they told him one thing, and then when it came time to execute, they did something different. Because he said, like, remember when he was talking about Gap, and he said they didn't live up to the contractual obligations or whatever. He was speaking on them actually having stores dedicated to Yeezy by Gap.
Just like a specific store. I remember hearing that there would be a specific store just for that.
Well, I mean, Adidas was supposed to have a store just for Yeezy in apparel. You know, so
That
it's
wouldn't
like
make
there's
sense.
a lot of
That wouldn't
things
make
that
sense.
didn't come into play that he was expecting or he wanted. So, you know, if you sign a contract expecting something and then they don't follow through.
But that verbiage right there, I could never imagine signing that knowing that is in there.
I just feel like there's a lot of irresponsible behavior on Kanye's side.
Gotta
You
be some
are a millionaire. You've been in. Well, I'll say before he signed these contracts that made him a billionaire, which came with a hefty price tag. Obviously, I just feel like when you are wealthy and rich and somebody wants to partner, and I'm doing air quotes, with you, it is your responsibility to hire the best attorneys, team of attorneys if you're wise, and make sure that you cross T's and dot I's when you're dealing with a partnership with anybody, especially if somebody that's way bigger than you, right?
Well,
But they collab didn't
I
Adidas
there's a
and Gap-
part of me where I'm
it's a
just
game
like,
though. It's a game though,
They
because
played
I
it.
sent you an article, right?
mm-hmm.
And the article I sent you spoke about Nike, right?
Yeah, how I won the culture, right? That's the
And-
same
yeah,
one?
yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of their verbiage, the vocabulary, is different in that article compared to what
Yeah, we had a long discussion about
okay,
that.
so-
Yeah, we did.
collaborations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Partnerships, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're seen or viewed as.
Mm-hmm.
But what it may actually be is a company using an influencer or a celebrity as a catalyst for a product or more exposure,
Yes.
or just exposure to a new region, age group, platform, and things of that nature, right?
That
And in the
makes some
midst of that,
sense.
right, the wording, the verbiage in the contracts can be stated and come across a certain way, giving off the look in the appeal that
Yeah.
things are going to work in your favor, when all actuality, the company has controlling power, right? And they are also in a position to, if they decide not to work with you anymore, put you in a position where you can't do anything, right? And so people go into these things thinking it's a partnership and everything's 50-50 and it's all good, when in actuality you're being used,
Well,
right? In most cases, when we're
Right.
talking about big
Yeah.
companies, right?
Yeah.
Because, all right, for instance, look how big Tiger Woods made Nike with golf. And then when all that stuff happened, right?
Right.
So,
You think you are my partner, but again, this is my company. At the end of the day, it's Adidas.
we're
And
using
it's
you.
Gap.
You're a catalyst for us to make Nike bigger in golf. And since you are a champion, Nike champ, it looks like a great partnership
Right.
to the masses,
Right.
outside.
Right. And to you, because now you're in it and you're making some money and you feel like you're owner because your name is attached to it and people are saying your name with it.
So you have to be aware of those things. It's not always what you think it is.
Because what you're saying is making sense, because like Gap and Adidas were companies that I don't know how well Adidas was doing in the sneaker world, but Gap didn't seem like a company that was starting to die off.
Gap
Pretty much.
stock shot up once the partnership was announced.
Right. So am I going to, as the
It also
owners of-
dropped once the partnership was terminated. But
if you're the owners of Gap or Adidas and you have this person attached to your company and you're making money off of it, and you guys claim it's a partnership, at the end of the day, you want to maintain the ownership of your company. You want to maintain
Of course.
you're
So
gonna
I'm
maintain
not-
ownership of that.
So you have someone like Kanye, I imagine, who feels like he owns something of that.
See, you missed it. You wasn't here. We had this conversation. You missed it because we were talking about him being the lead designer behind the shoe, but not owning the patent. See, so Adidas owning the patent. You understand what I'm saying?
You just made the patent for us.
Well, I mean,
no.
Is that what you're saying?
No, lead design.
Okay.
You created the shoe, but we patented the shoe
He's-
so nobody else can come and make that shoe. So it's Yeezy by Adidas.
Exactly.
He's
can't
an
go off.
You can't go and use
he's an
this patent.
employee.
You
He's
can't
an-
use this patent
He
somewhere else.
is an employee. It's
Yes.
just like if you're working with any company that manufactures anything.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, when you're signing all your paperwork, there's a clause somewhere that says if you create something here under us,
It's ours.
it's ours.
For sure. That makes
You
sense.
know what I'm saying? And then even what Jelani was explaining earlier, like we can water it down even more. Say that you are the most popular farmer in California. when you speak of agriculture, you think of Poe, and then Poe decides to merge as far as in a partnership with Clam Jumpers, right? And it's called Poe's Garden, and they provide you all this, but they need Poe's audience. They need the people, the cult following that Poe has,
and you need a platform.
Yeah, and you need the platform,
right? But they're aware that you need the platform,
right?
And so they also own Poe's Garden.
Yep.
Yes,
that would make sense.
But you're looking at it like, well, nah, this is Poe's, this is my name, and it's that either. But you signed on the dotted line,
and I came and used. You footed the bill, most likely. You provided the resources.
Well, that's what they're going to try to tell you, even though you're getting the shit into the deal.
Yeah,
but basically what you're saying. So it's like,
so let me ask, how do y'all think if had Kanye taken that advice? And I'm sure there may have been other people who have provided the same advice. Sway isn't the first person who's suggested that to Kanye. Do you think within that period of time, it's been 10 years, right? What do you think where do you think he would have been as far as ownership had he done the slow roll or just attempted to do it himself with getting his own manufacturers? Because eventually, I mean, you're not going to get the best of the best right off top. They're not going to give you the best plug, right? You got to go find your own.
Yeah, you really got to.
So that's going to take some legwork. So you're going to have maybe not the best materials.
It's deeper than that.
Okay, they cutting them off.
Infrastructure, R&D, factory negotiations, designers, employees, global distribution, sourcing materials, HQ buildings, stores, legal teams, HR teams, business sense, temperament, business acumen.
That's a lot. No. I know it's a lot, but that's why I'm asking the question. Where do we think he would have been had he?
I think most people that are already in the space of the celebrity, they're just going to do a partnership because they
want to use someone else.
They don't want to. There's a different type of hunger than they have versus you and I, the rest of us. Then the other thing too is just like everything that Jelani was listing, I don't have time for that shit. Right?
That's a keeping it 100.
I don't have time for that.
So what it is it's the elevator versus the stairs.
Yeah.
That's my question.
It's the elevator versus the stairs.
So you two are taking the stairs right now.
Yeah, we're taking the stairs. And
you want to take the stairs.
Yeah.
If you could take the escalator or the elevator, you had an opportunity, I'm sure you probably would consider it. Well, depending on what the
Here's the thing. The answer to fully answer the question, because we're talking about Kanye West, I don't necessarily know that he would just make a different decision if he had known anything different, because he knew different back then. And Kanye just makes whatever decisions he feels like making.
You can't be mad at him.
You know what I'm saying?
Doing what he feels is best for himself.
That's one of the reasons why I'm sitting here and I'm just like, hey, dude, that's what you wanted to do.
He's taking his risk and gambling, and I can't. I'm not a consumer of his product.
It's no different than Jordan. Jordan isn't the complete
I would love to gamble and lose and be a billionaire afterwards.
That's the other thing too, is that I can't be mad.
The only thing I have a problem with. The only thing I have a problem with Ye is the things that he incorporated in the package, like Donda. You know what I mean? Jesus walks. Like, dude, are you serious? Or did you even have this read to you, or did you read it yourself?
That's the verbiage that
It feels like he didn't. But then again, it's him. Was he desperate? There's a point in time where he publicly asked Zuckerberg for
desperate. Was he desperate to be? Was he
some
desperate
money
to be accepted?
Because
the desperation isn't necessarily to have the product.
I think what Kanye went through was something no different than what me and this guy go through when we have our conversations about our business. When that Sway interview that he did hits a little different now. Not because of what's going on right now, but the frustration he had. It's like, now I understand.
Because you've hit your head up against the wall trying the different ways, and it's just a frustrating process. And
nigga, because he didn't have the answers. That's why. That's what you really have to understand, because he obviously had went through a certain stage and process where he attempted to do certain things.
That's what I figure.
And due to the current state of things, him not being able to get his foot in the door in certain places, and him not being able to like solidify certain connections or whatever the case may be, right? So then if you partner with somebody bigger than you and they give you creative control, then it allows you to do a lot of things with their resources, their network, and allows you to expose what it is you're capable of on a bigger scale. That sounds like love, right? That sounds like the move. Especially after I've been, as you said, bumping my head, trying to figure these things out. I'm trying to take the stairs, and damn it, I keep tripping and falling.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't
got
have time
bruises
to
on my
explain
knees.
this whole thing to you
I
right
just
now.
scraped up my elbows. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting frustrated. And then Adidas said, hey, why don't you just take the elevator, bro? You're Kanye. Why not?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm imagining we would all take that opportunity.
So at that point,
I mean,
does
it's
it seem
real
like
easy
the
to do.
easy way out, or does it seem like
Your last drop
hand
of
up?
water.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when you say, why don't you take the slow road, and you don't have the answers. I don't either.
That's what he should have said.
But Adidas.
That's
see what I'm saying?
We didn't hear the part where he said, I don't either.
Yeah.
That was
Like,
the part.
that's where all that frustration came
Yeah.
from.
Because he didn't have the time, and we got to know that Kanye is the way in which he speaks. I can imagine it's the frustration of like, I don't got time to tell you right now that I don't got the answers, and you don't got the answers either right now. Like,
I think
don't
it
wanna
was.
explain
I
this.
think it was a build. I think it was a build up of that, or like, because me and him will chop it up, and I'll throw some things out there, and I'll hear Kanye through Jelani.
Nigga, it's like
Because I'll be like, bro, you could do this, but see, but hold on, see, this is what you feel you don't understand. Because not only did I do what you did, what you're saying to do, but I did this, and this, and that's not happening. So fuck all that, fuck them, and I'm
You
shutting
ain't
everything.
got the answers, Spills.
No, hey, look, it's like when you lose your keys or some shit, right? You lose your wallet.
Yeah.
And you on the phone with someone like, man, I just lost my wallet, and you didn't look everywhere. You didn't ever.
You know what? Where's the last place you seen it?
Did you check on? Man,
Did you check the?
did you?
Hang up on your ass. Click. That's when you
Did
want.
you check your pockets?
That's the perfect time
That's
for
the
a
one.
flip
Did
phone.
you check your pockets?
Nah,
I actually
no,
found my
I didn't
keys
check
in my.
them.
Nah, I got it now. Yes, I checked it now.
I checked all my pockets. You get off the phone and then you go check your hoodie pocket. Like, oh,
That pocket.
This is madness.
Yeah, nah.
I'm not
no,
talking
it's
to them
like-
no more today. They might
I
ask.
can't tell them I was.
They might ask.
Golly, man. But I'm at a point now where when I see bad deals with celebrities or entertainers, I'm just like, you have an abundance of resources that you're choosing to ignore because you're driven. You have this tunnel vision. I know most companies get sold. They'll build a company up, and then somebody's like, hey, I like what you're doing over there. You've created a cult-like following that we're not tapped into. Boom, we'll buy it. But if you want this to be something, because I hear this a lot, Kanye's not the only person.
Right.
There's, that's just who we relate to.
The most recent.
Well,
And one of the more
most
bigger
recent,
ones.
yeah.
And most vocal.
But here's another one, Sylvester Stallone, right? So,
You say Sylvester Stallone?
yeah, Sly.
I like this.
SLY.
So the thing is with him,
It is.
yes,
Yo,
that's why they call him Sly.
I've been saying Sylvester.
Yeah, I've been saying it
Because
too.
you like the cartoon. Go on, Spill.
He gets hardly anything for any of the Rockies.
Even though he wrote the shit.
Because when he signed his deal and he was poor at the time, right?
So that's why they had him in Rocky 4. I mean 5 or which one?
They've had him in anything, even with the Creed universe and all of that stuff.
So he got to
Yeah,
come
he's
back.
finally done.
But
he's
he
done?
went off on Instagram.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And his thing was, I want something to leave to my kids, and I don't own anything with this franchise. I get a little bit of royalties here and there, but I own nothing. And this is not only been happening since before we were born, because Rocky came out way back then, but it even happens right now on social media. When you look at people that are quote unquote influencers who are really catalysts, a lot of those people steal shit
Yeah.
from really creative people that are not getting the exposure.
Right.
And now you're seeing it on a massive scale. So when you see people in the comment sections saying, oh, that's messed up and that's really Kanye's brand, it's like, no, that's not what happened. He was a catalyst to grow traffic.
Yeah.
Right?
Back to the company.
And we're going to sign you a deal to where you need us more than we need you.
Yeah. See how it should have worked though. Is you have to learn how to use your leverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you also have to be smart enough to know how to retain certain things. Mm-hmm. So even if Ye and Yeezy were to go into that contract, there's no need for Donda or Jesus Walks or anything. See, because those could have been direct extensions of Yeezy apart from Yeezy by Adidas, right? And with him touring, having Sunday services and everything else that he has going on, and with him having a shoe with Adidas, he would have been able to produce those things and have them stand alone because of who he is and what he has going on altogether as a whole.
See that?
Right? So using the leverage of the contract with Adidas to help promote and move your stuff. So then it's like, oh, well, no more Yeezy by Adidas. Like, damn, all right, well, guess we're going to do Donda and Jesus Walks. And then
that's why I'm so confused about what was his focus on? What was his main focus?
Well, see, here's the thing about it. The question becomes, when a contract was signed, was it Yeezy by Adidas and whatever is created under that by extension or by default, I should say, right? And so then if that's the case, when those things were created by default, they were under Yeezy by Adidas. You see what I'm saying? So again, the verbiage
Yeezy is that what you're saying? You're saying everything under Yeezy falls under Yeezy by Adidas because
of the contract.
Because of the contract.
So they don't have to say Donda. They don't have to say all these other. They don't have to say those things because it already kind of falls under.
By default, if it's a contract where it states that anything that is created through Yeezy, Wooty Woo, Donda, Jesus Walks, any extension of that is under the umbrella
of Yeezy
that's signed with Yeezy by Adidas or Ye, then by default, whatever is created during that run of the contract, it belongs to them.
Okay, so when did this Adidas contract start?
That's what I'm saying. So then that becomes a question.
You're
but on the same breath, with that question, what was the verbiage? Because if the verbiage stated that, then by default, if it was in the print, in the lines, and he was able to read where, and he still chose to sign it, then that means something different. So
his mind must be all over the place to where I'm signing this contract, but I got all these other things going on so much that I don't realize I'm creating more for them. The more I create outside of the
thing about it,
music, anything.
Yeah, but no, because it's not like they can't continue to do Ye or Yeezy anything. Nobody gets anything.
Yeah.
It's just dead in the water now.
Stop. Just dead.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because if they're terminating the contract, then that means they can't use his name or likenesses.
Yep.
But shit, damn it, he can't use his name or likenesses.
Now, the only advantage I would say that EA has is because he has influence right now, that he needs to figure out if he wants to negotiate with him, and then probably negotiate a different type of contract later on that frees him frees him to be able to do whatever he wants, or he's got to get real creative about what the hell, he wants to do.
He could just release more of his sketches and things that he has that he's never.
Yeah. He better turn his brand into College Dropout or something like that, or one of his album names.
Because he can't come up with a new name. Is that right?
No, he can do different stuff. He just can't use those names, those patents, things like that. So
he'll come up with something else.
Call it West
It's gonna
Style.
be difficult, maybe.
Call it West Style.
I'm thinking that he's done with being able to
ain't
create.
no telling.
He'll create.
Yeah, he can create, but that's the thing.
creative.
He has to.
Yeah, he
He has to. It's almost like I don't want to say start from scratch because it starts from experience.
yeah.
And because of all that he has done with them, he does have a network now. He does have connections now.
And
He does have access now.
Yep.
You feel me? He's no longer on the outside looking in. He's in.
So is this perhaps an opportunity for Kanye?
If he utilizes it right.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same
Because
thing.
this could be the
does it the right
opportunity
way.
that he needed to. Because some people like for me, for instance, I've been in situations to where I knew what I needed to do to get myself out of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't prepared, and then the universe and life just was like, well, this is what an event that
Sink
takes
or
place.
swim.
Yep, you got to do it now. So like someone like Kanye, I can imagine.
So
like,
basically, same situation, sink or swim. Now that we
you got all these networks,
everything,
but you got all these resources and things from that experience to where now your business that you're going to create is not really necessarily starting without all these resources and things. You have this.
I think what my concern is how many people have successfully done that. Because he has the resources, he has the creativity, he has the passion, all of that residual energy from what he's accomplished. Mm-hmm. But I'm sitting here as we're talking and I'm thinking how many people have started. I think maybe Steve Jobs, when he got voted out of Apple, he started like Pixar, right? But I can't think of too many scenarios where they're just like, all right, I fell on my face. All right, I'm gonna come back harder like this.
Is it because we're not tapped into those industries or those people?
Well, I just brought up Steve Jobs, so I'm just kind of thinking of like
Steve Jobs was a genius, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kanye.
They say Kanye a genius, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. How many other geniuses do you know, though?
Well, I'm looking at odds.
Creative geniuses.
Yeah, like creative geniuses for sure, definitely. But I'm also looking at odds because this has happened to numbers of people that we consider great geniuses, and
he's extremely persistent and like he's extremely persistent. Kanye, I don't see him.
Yeah, he doesn't really.
I don't see him.
He doesn't really follow the rules.
I don't see him giving up.
So I mean, that's definitely an advantage for him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like shit. I just thought about that, but the other thing I'm thinking about is like, when the hell are people gonna learn? Like, hey, you need to get your shit in order. There's a reason why these companies have lawyers, a team of lawyers, like a starting five of a basketball team or a football team, if you will. There's a reason for it.
I'll read the contract myself. Thank you.
I was just watching a podcast, and who was it that was on there? Guru, Young Guru.
Oh, the barbershop podcast.
Oh, no,
right?
Math Hafiz. Yeah, bro, very good information he provided. He said that him and his dude, the contract that either one of the contracts, his first contract he was signing, or one after that, they pulled up a computer, and they said they sat there and they read the entire contract, and any word that they didn't understand, they look it up, replace the word with something that they are able to understand so they can read it clearly.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. And
clever.
like they took the time to just sit there and read the actual contract. And that's one of the things that we don't do. I'm saying we because
in general.
The
reason why, which is not, it needs to stop being an excuse. But the reason why that happens is because a lot of people are desperate.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They're desperate.
Very true.
They don't know where their next meal is coming. They may have a stack of medical bills or whatever. That's the moral part where I think is fucked up on the other end of the person writing the contract, initiating the deal, because they understand that. So when they're writing these contracts and stuff like that, and they're putting it together, they understand the possibility of this blowing up and this person wanting to go their different.
Well, you got to understand something. The contract is written by a company for their favor. It's not written to be in your favor. Mm-hmm. It's for the benefit of the company.
Yeah.
And you'll get a piece of the pie. Mm-hmm. Like, it's for the benefit of the company.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said the moral part. That's why I said the moral part.
You can become a part of the company and you'll benefit from that, but it's for the benefit of the company.
Right.
You can either buy your groceries at Rayleigh's or you can buy your groceries at Whole Foods.
You got to call a company. Like, when it comes to like dealing with contracts, you got to call them out and make them stand on what it is they saying if they truly, you know what I'm saying? I had a publishing contract. They sent it to me. I read through everything. I underlined a lot of red stuff. I crossed out things. I changed stuff. I reworked the numbers and everything. I sent it back to him. That's how I'm feeling. That's what I want. We can make that happen. It's all good. Well, we felt very confident about it, and we don't know about something. Well, if you feel that confident, let's go ahead and make this contract work, and you can go ahead and put the book out. And I'm not worried about. Put the book out, take care of all the expensive fees, and pay me on the back end. I'm worried about exposure, right? If we're gonna do a deal, you put the money up front, you put it out, you do all the legwork because you believe in it, right? Show me you believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
Spend your money.
Put your money where your mouth is.
And there's a lot of scenarios where that happens, but they also understand that, like, I'm not ready to let the situation go. It even happened to Tupac. Tupac fulfilled his death row contract, right? All right, man, I'm done. Want to go do my own thing now. And what did Suge tell him? Yeah, man, but what are all these expenses, man? What about this 10 bands right here? What about these dinners and this, that, and the other? Like Jelani said, it's what's best for the company. And I think more people that are getting into business that see, air quotes again, opportunities need to really analyze that word and say, okay, this is an opportunity. But for who?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm done listening to, especially a lot of our folks, oh, they're trying to get over on us. They're stealing creativity. And we have an abundance of resources to really deconstruct whatever information that is deceptive for us. And we have to choose whether we want to take the time to do that or not, or whether we're just hungry and we got to get to the next move and we got to make it and all of these other things.
Wind up being flavor of the month.
Yep. Straight up.
No, straight up. Like, you know, because when they done with you, you burn out or whatever. Like, then the company's done. Now what you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, like, Adidas ain't slowed down.
Nope.
No.
They've
even made kicks that are similar to those of, you know what I'm saying?
But I think that was their main goal because obviously we want our products to pick back up. That was our main that was when I was asking about the partnership. Is like Kanye is seeing it as, oh, I'm about to create this, is gonna be my own thing, but they looking at it like, nah, you about to help us make our company way much. You're gonna help us with our company.
But I still think that he knew better because when you go back to the Sway interview, he said, man, I don't have the factories, I don't have this, and I don't have that. So it's kind of like common sense. Like, okay, if somebody's gonna give you everything that you need to succeed, what is that gonna do for them?
So where's your focus at? Like, what is your mission? Or like,
that was his mission. His mission, he wanted to have his own brand. He said it. I am Walt Disney. I'm all of these different things. But the common
Walt own his. Never mind.
Right, right. That was the common denominator, right? Like, right. And people continuously run into that wall and then want to complain after they've gotten the perks that they were given.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's to the point now where it's like, come on, y'all. Like, that billionaire talk is kind of a joke to me because it's like, okay, yeah, you're worth $1 billion or you're worth 5, you're worth 9. Well, these other companies are worth like anywhere between 50 to $120 billion. So if they're able to give you that, then understand what you're going to make for them and what you're going to continue to make for them while you're playing ball. And if they decide that, okay, fine, you don't make any money, I don't make any money off this, we're still going to make money off of the publicity and everything that you've brought over here because we're bigger than you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the
getting bullied.
Yeah, dog.
So
ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership.
I think that shit is important in every single aspect. I mean, for all three of us on what we're doing, ownership is important. There's going to be things that you literally produce, no pun intended, when it comes to your farming that it's like, I need to make sure that I'm covered if somebody wants to come in and work with me or have a partnership. That's what happened with the music industry. Mm-hmm. That's why independent artists generate over $1 billion a year from independent music. That's why somebody like Chris Brown now owns his masters. Why? Because the old style music industry is dying and they understand that shit. Not only is our leverage dying, but they have all the leverage and it's growing. So shit, let me get a little bit. Let's just do a partnership. We'll give you your masters. We'll give you your royalties. We just want some of the money that you're able to generate without us. That's where creatives need to get creative and say, you know what? Fuck the partnerships over there unless it's straight transparent. This is the deal that I want. Yeah. And they need to learn to counter offer with their own contract like Jelani was talking about. Because I thought that was really brilliant to say, you know what? I'm going to cross this out. I'm circling this. I don't want that. Here. And then when they try to hit you with some bullshit, well, we're very confident. Okay, well then if you're confident, trust me like you were trying to make me believe you trust me. You see what I'm saying? So
I like that idea. Yeah,
it's not even just about ownership no more. It's about what you really own and what you control. Yeah. Because you can own a lot of shit and have no... Kanye is the greatest example of having ownership and no fucking control. So, you know.
It's crazy because what Nip say, what do you own? What can you make move? Are you in charge of your destiny?
And yep.
The GOAT.
Yep. Leave it to the late great, man.
So...
Keyway Christ, man.
Anyways, man.
We out of here.
Great episode. Great episode.
I thought we was going. We went long on the Kanye one pause, but
it was all business, and you know, it
we still got to get to your man Brett next week. Yeah. That's a developing story, so we'll be able to.
Well, they got to start. I guess we got to be the ones to talk about it first, since they're not talking about that. They're talking about. I'm not even gonna mention the brother because they already talking about it. Yeah. But anyways, this your boy Dizzy D Spill. You've been tuning into the Notion Podcast with my co-host in the building,
Jelani Evans.
It's Farmer Poe.
And until next time, holla at us. But before we shut it down, you already know what to do. Follow the page, like, subscribe,
hit that like button.
Leave comments. Let us know what you want to talk about with us or what you want us to talk about.
On the live.
Get some damn shoe trees before you're not able to get any. My kicks and sneakers, I got mine. Don't get left out. And you already know, holla at me for that Lavora call. And Poe got tomatoes. We out.